I'm going to do some videos later on how to deploy your application to AWS, but I wanted to show you something that I've used a fair amount. It's called S3 buckets. And if a user is uploading, let's say, a video or an image, saving them can be a little difficult. You have to move it from your front end to your back end and then save it in your database. Or you can always create a special folder or file where you save them on the front end. But this is a very expensive operation. So Amazon S3 has these buckets where you can place them in. And instead of retrieving them, all you do is you retrieve the address for them. So it saves a lot of space. Amazon S3 buckets, unless you use a lot of them, if you're doing just a simple project to show people, it should be free. It should just keep you in the free tier. If for some reason you do go outside of that free tier and you suspect something's wrong, contact AWS support. They're pretty good. So what we're going to do in this tutorial is we are going to create a bucket, and I'll show you everything that you need to do to create a bucket. So first thing we do is, well, you're going to do a search for S3, and you're going to click on here, which is where I'm at right now. And S3s are global, so you don't really need to worry about where you put the bucket. And you are going to create a bucket. And for this one, it's going to be Aaron Katz demo. And let's just call this images, because that's what I'm going to use. And we're just going to go with the defaults here. Now, it's going to give you the access to block all public access or certain things. We are going to give it completely public access. So everything in here is public, and you have to click on it, and it says, you sure you want to do this? Answer is yes, you want to do this. Now, it's a great way for companies to store things that if they don't want anyone to have access to except for internals, that's why they use it. But in this case, we're using it just as a way to store things that won't take up a lot of memory on our websites. Let's version. I'm not really going to go too much into versioning right now, but you could have different versions later on and you can look back at them. It's kind of something good to have. Tags, don't worry about. Don't worry about server-side encryption, bucket key. So we are going to now create the bucket. All right. And if you look at the bucket, it says objects can be public. That's kind of weird. Why does it say they can be? We want them to be public. So we are going to click here, and then we're going to go under permissions, and we are going to write our first bucket policy. Actually, before we go in there, let's see, what do I want? Oh no, permissions is good. Okay, we are going to want to edit this. And the bucket ARN is the Amazon, I forget what RARN stands for, but you basically want to copy this because it knows which bucket to work for, and we want to generate a policy. So we are going to go, we want this to be an S3 bucket policy. We're going to put star for principal, meaning kind of everything. And then down here, we're going to paste in the ARN, and then we're going to do slash, backslash, or is it / and star, saying everything in this is going to have this policy of being completely public. We're going to this drop down, and what we're going to do is we are going to delete the object because we want to be able to delete it. We are going to get the object, which is going to be further down here. And we want to also be able to store it, which is known as the put. Now you can go through these and you can click all of them if you want, but you only want to do the minimum policies that you need, least amount of permissions. So we're just going to click on those three. And we are going to, let's see, add statement, which is good. So this says we're going to allow everything to delete, get, put, and let's generate this policy. And we are going to copy this right here. So this is writing our first Amazon S3 bucket policy. Close it, go back over here, paste that in. So what this is saying is that here's the date, or the version, that's not the date, the version. And then we are going to have delete, get, and put, and we're going to allow on everything that says Aaron Katz demo images. And we are going to save the changes. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to go back to our object and we want to upload some images. So we can do add folder or add files. So I am going to go to, let's see, looks like Betty. Yeah, because that looks like my dog Betty, although she's got a little more coloring on her face. So we're going to open that. And right there is going to be upload. And it's going to take a quick second. We're going to click on this. And you see this object URL? Now, this URL is good anywhere on the internet. Right now, you can send this to anyone you want. And when they look at it, it will say, it'll give them this. Now, if you didn't go through that and making it all public, they'd get a weird error message saying, hey, this isn't public, and you'd get some weird JSON up here. So now that we've done this, in the next couple lessons we're going to do is we're going to update our backend a little bit because we want to save the path for this. And then we are going to save that on the back end so we can grab that from AWS. And I'm going to show you on the front end how to save and grab the AWS images and get them and basically use them so you don't have to worry too much about pictures and videos and anything else that could be a pain to save. All right, I'll see you in a bit.